I work with a little organization called Crossroads Urban Center. We've been around since the early 60s in downtown Salt Lake. We have several little organizations. We operate a food pantry, Salt Lake's biggest food pantry as a matter of fact. We also have a thrift store. We have 2 drug treatment programs. And I've been there 22 years as just a volunteer. And I started building these 5-6 years ago just as an attempt to curb some of the homelessness that we've got in downtown Salt Lake with being able to provide simple emergency fast shelters. So from there to here, this will be the first one that we'll complete and sell to somebody that's on the lowest income of scales. And hopefully we can, try and do another one or another 2 or another 3. I've got people write me from Russia, from Japan, from China,
from Utah County.
Utah County.
The Daily Prep.
I had
from Exit 12.
I had some folks drive down from Oregon. I had them stop by at least, and they want to know, how they can do it. What's the capability? If there's communities in their organizations, there's organizations in their communities that can do this.
I wanted to ask is tell me about the permitting thing. How did you guys get to push that through zoning or DRB or whatever you had to do?
DRT, the Division Review Team, and all that.
Yeah,
Kind of, well, it's a steel building in essence, so it's just it'll be treated as and appraised as just a steel building, because once we've taken the walls out and all of the modifications, it no longer is a container. Well, the city had to go out and get somebody to come in and actually, because I had architect drawings and all of those. It just wasn't something you can arbitrarily show up with a napkin drawing and say, here's what I want to do.
Chili's napkin.
Yeah, and I tried it, by the way. It didn't work. But what happened here is, in this situation, we took it in. We had the architect, the engineer had submitted a document like this that the city had to send out to another engineer to have him read it, because it was, definitely something new that they had not seen. Once they got to that point, they felt a little more comfortable with it. But the big problem with Salt Lake City and permitting is, my original goal was to build this off-site and just bring it in and drop it in on, the day of delivery kind of thing.
Sure, yeah.
But unfortunately, in Salt Lake City, you have to go through the permitting code where they had to come in and inspect each and everything.
In phases, kind of.
In phases.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to do this on a modular basis, but that's where you're almost in a manufactured house, or what they used to refer to as a mobile home kind of zoning code. Because when you take it in the permitting desk, they say, okay, containers, perfect. They're on the backs of boats, they'll fall off, wash up on the Oregon coast with 10,000 pair of dry Nikes.
Yeah.
And everybody's going, that's a perfect shelf for building a house. But when you start taking out the walls, it starts changing the
structural integrity.
Absolutely.
Kind of,
Because if you remember, on containers, on boats, they'll stack them 13 high, but it's always based on just the corners.
Yep.
And everything else
is
the
frame,
kind of
not the sides.
Right. It's kind of like a unibody with your car. This wood beam here I just put in just because it's a little more decorative versus having just the 2 butt welds together.
Right.
So, but on top of this is a 4-inch by 6-inch, half-inch steel tube that runs the entire length, and it acts as kind of a gusset that kind of pulls it up. So I only have one little structural steel wall in here, and the rest of this is all free support. It's definitely an opportunity to try and do it, especially if you're a hands-on person.
Okay.
I mean, let's break it down. The containers themselves, a good container, will run anywhere between $4,500 and $5,200 in, say, the Salt Lake kind of area here.
Okay. And we're talking 40-foot high cube.
40-foot high cube.
Insulated or anything like that? Or just
no, that's just
bare bone kind of?
And a lot of people say, we can get them cheaper. Well, it depends upon what you're going to do with them. If you're going down to the coast, yeah, but then you still have the cost of transport of getting them up here.
Yeah.
So you throw that into the equation. The other thing is, some of the barn finds you can find, where these guys have said, I've got one that's sitting out in my yard. You got to go take a look at it and see how, what shape it is in.
Yeah.
Some of them have holes. I mean, usually when they get retired off of boats, they're
little love.
Yeah, they need a little bit of love. The other thing is, if you want to do windows and things like that, you need to learn how to weld.
Yeah.
And you have to have, or else have a good friend that likes to weld.
Hire you.
Yeah. Well, in this situation,
price, right?
This situation, I have some talented people that I've, as a nonprofit that I've worked with, that I've had the ability to be able to work with.
So for the insulation, you brought that up. Did you do a spray-on foam type thing? Or?
We just got it done yesterday, and we just had the inspection this morning. But we have 2.5 to 3 inches foam in the walls, so in the corrugation, and then on top of that we've got R8,
which is the roll stuff here.
Yeah, this is really kind of neat stuff. This is made out of it's a corn-based filler, and it's green. It's not like the fiberglass nasty stuff. This stuff is real sweet to work with.
So you'd roll around in that and no itchy.
Yeah, and then here's the foam.
Yeah.
So you see we've got it all foamed up. That's a closed cell. So we brought that in, and then this tops it all off. So we'll actually be, I'm going to guess I think we're right around R24, 25, 26, somewhere in that range.
Cool.
So we've exceeded that.
Very cool.
We're using a simple Mitsubishi split system, so it's an air conditioner and heat pump. So that will heat this entire place very economically. We're expecting, Mitsubishi's quoted, average maybe $40 to $45 in a heating bill, and that will be for air conditioning and heating. It's one system.
Wow, that's great.
And no ductwork. It's going to sit right there. This is the bathroom, washer dryer here. This is the bathroom. It's going to have a great big giant shower, but again, it's simple. It's going to be nice finishes, you know.
Yeah.
But again, the nice natural lighting.
This actually isn't a bad sized bathroom either.
Oh, it's a great sized bathroom.
You figure the footprint, the overall footprint is what, less than 1,000 square feet?
Oh.
And then is this
This is going to be the bedroom. It's adequate size for a single person.
Cool.
You know, it's got a great big giant sliding glass door. We've got closet space.
Do a little Murphy bed or?
Well, no, actually, it's going to work out well for a queen.
Oh, cool.
You know, again, one person, two people. They don't have a whole lot. I mean, this is a person that's definitely downsizing.
Yeah.
It's like a tiny house, that type of
tiny house movement, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
I wish I'm 31, but I wish that my wife and I could like get rid of everything we have and move with our dog into one of these things.
Oh, that's exactly what we're going to probably have. It's a perfect house for
we actually have a little daughter now too, so it would be like.
You need a little bit more space.
Yeah.
But think about somebody that's always 55% of most Americans now are single. You know, it's just the market, and seniors even more.
Yeah.
But look at the size
of
the
yard. I like this. Even if you have a couple kids, I love the idea of just small living, and especially if you're going to try to do something where you incorporate some green alternative energy or off-grid solutions.
Oh yeah.
And you're looking to incorporate like solar or photovoltaics or something like that for energy.
I would love to.
Smaller.
Sure. We did this for the roof, and we did all the photovoltaic design and takeoff and everything else. But then we looked at the income parameters, and the person that's going to get this house is going to be low income. So if the photovoltaic should break or something like that, it's going to be too expensive. You know, but this Mitsubishi system comes with just a heck of a good warranty, and it's well backed up. And I'm going, well, that's just exactly what we need. At a later date, maybe, but when it's the first one coming out, you got to try and keep it simple. Yeah, this is a half room here. So you got this, and this is just a little half room. So you
desk maybe.
Well, it's a day bed for a grandchild or something that's coming over. A computer, more storage space. It's whatever. You can easily close it off. We did not, but again, nice big windows.
That's awesome, man.
I did not put any ceiling lights in at all. Everything is on sconces, so that the person, if she's a senior, he's a senior, they don't have to get on a ladder to change light bulbs.
One other question I have to ask you, kind of made me think of real quick, and we'll let you go, is with financing. You mentioned like getting grants and things like that. There's still not a ton of financing for something like an alternative construction project like this, right?
No, yeah, we went through a home grant process through the federal government that was based upon Crossroads Urban Center as a 501c3, kind of like Habitat for Humanity. And I got that grant. I mean, we started it 4 years ago, and we finally achieved it 2 years ago. But there's still, I believe that there is still, private money. I don't know where it is, but there is still that kind of technology and that kind of principle that people will do it. And a lot of people have that, the ground that's out there, and they just like to start doing, some of their own simplified build. We did one as where we just put all of the, the materials inside the container, and then being able to ship it somewhere, and then you unpack it at the end, and that's where you start building it.
Yeah.
You know?
I like that a lot,
You know?
man. I feel like that's because a lot of folks that I deal with on the prepper side of things, a lot of these guys, you know, they're looking to be a little bit more self-sufficient, but also from an emergency preparedness standpoint, look at these types of things as an alternative location. You know, so maybe they do live in their house that's a residential tract home type deal, but they have some land, and it just makes sense because, you know, you can do it, and it's low cost, or it's affordable enough maybe to where they want to have one of these that's extra, that's a separate little like bug out shelter, bug out location. And I think what you just described with the kind of like the 1, 2, 3 menu of like, do you want this house, or this house? It comes and it's all put together, and you know, all the heavy lifting, so to speak, has maybe been thought through already for you, or some of it even constructed when it gets to your lot. I just think that's... Well, hey, Jeff, man, I really appreciate it. We didn't mean to take up this much of your time.
Thank you very much.
I'd love to keep in touch and, you know,
we'll be,
do whatever I can if I can ever help.
We're going to start the Sheetrock Rodeo real soon, as we refer to it as. But then we'll be looking for some, you know, for people to come through and see it as we get it slowly finished. Plus, also they can always contact me at the Sarah House Utah Facebook site. Sarah House Utah Facebook site. If you have any questions, or you just want a little piece of advice, or you just want to talk about doing something on your own, I'm really fairly simple and easy.
Very cool. Well, hey, thanks again so much, man.
Enjoy the day, guys.
We'll see you later, bud.
Okay.